Hello.
Oh, you take it.
Oh, because it keep flopping. It's in my way. Feel like a turtleneck.
Really?
Feel like a turtleneck.
Let me mute this mic back. Hey guys, we're here. Woo! Okay. Okay.
That's my favorite part.
Hey, B94.9 WATV. Happy Sunday to all of you. I am Lady Wu. Uh-oh. Got that reverb. The crew is in the building. We're happy to be back. Last Sunday, we were not live. A lot has happened in between time. So we'll get to that in just a few minutes. Crew, introduce yourselves.
What's going on? It's your boy, Ready Eddie.
What had to be ham? It's your boy Jay Hat.
Oh, this is the newbie, Wendy.
So we're going to come back to you, too.
Come back to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then...
And I am attorney Kristen French. What's up, Birmingham?
Hey. So let's let Jay Hat figure out what's happening. We're having a few technical interruptions over there. We good? All right, we are good. So yeah, you hear all of the voices that you hear regularly, and now you're hearing a new voice tonight. Wendy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure. Help us, Lord. It is on a good Sunday. It is such a pleasure.
Indeed. So Wendy and I go way back, and we just had a whole moment about way back and what that was like here in the city. So we'll talk about some of that stuff too. But Wendy, let everybody know who you are, what you do, where you come from, who your folk is, what school you went to.
Oh,
favorite color.
Y'all really just janked me about my school. So,
Alabama School for the Deaf and Blind, Math and Science. Which one did you say?
So it is definitely the Alabama School of Math and Science. It's Mobile. I'm not from Mobile. I'm definitely from Birmingham, Alabama. I own a clinic in Vestavia, beauty and wellness clinic. I'm also a registered nurse, but I have a lot of insight about a little bit about everything. So
love it.
I'm just here to give my input. And I'm happy to be a part of this lovely family you have here.
Hey, man, we are so happy to have you. We are so happy to have you and your amazing energy and your knowledge. You had done like some podcasts or something, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, girl, come on over to Real Radio.
Okay.
Come on over to Real Radio, where anybody can hear you. I mean, anybody can see and hear you on a podcast too, but that, I'm traditional. This is what we do.
Welcome to the big stage.
You hear me? This is what we do. This is where the big dog roam. So yeah. Get from over there with the puppies. Yes, come with the big dogs. So welcome to the show. Everybody I think everybody kind of takes to who their person is. Like listeners always have, oh yeah, I'm listening to see what Woo's going to say. I want to hear what Attorney French is talking about. Oh, I love to hear the preacher preach. They find their people. So Wendy's people, y'all check in, let her know that you're listening, tell her what you think, all that type of stuff. So it's been 2 weeks. A lot has happened. So much has happened. I don't even really know where to start. It is always ready. So maybe we should go there.
Are we getting into politics this early?
No. Okay. Yeah, no, we don't have to.
That's what I'm on, the politics.
We'll wait because I got them sound effects ready now. So we'll wait. Okay, let's check in on our weeks. How was your week?
My week. I'm recovering from COVID.
Yes. Like people still get COVID.
Yes. canceled everything and stayed in the dark for 2 days because a headache symptom that was there. And then after that, it was just movement forward. The new standards for dealing with COVID is once your symptoms begin to get better, 24 more hours out of the public. That's the new. So it ain't no time frame. So it can be short, it can be long. It just depends on when your symptoms start to get better.
I don't know about that because I know a lot of people are limited out here in these streets and they don't know that they're feeling better. It's not.
I mean, I don't think that's exactly. It's very subjective.
Yeah.
Like somebody who already really want to be out doing their thing gonna take, oh, well, I didn't have a headache as bad as yesterday, so I'm good now.
I just got a little headache.
But I spend time in the office with people, so I make sure I didn't come back out until I retested.
Okay.
And it didn't show up on the test again.
Good.
But that's the new rule. If you look it up, that's what the CDC rules say. And again, at this point, we don't know how that's been altered, modified for the sake of what's going on. But
HHS has been changed, and then I saw a few weeks ago that they dropped like some side effects of the vaccine. If you got it, you can experience this long list of stuff. Wendy, you're a nurse, and I know that with everything that we take, there are potential side effects. But this list here was crazy. Let me look it up. It was so crazy.
Everything dealing with cardio, cardiac, your heart, your blood, it's gonna affect it. And that's what they were telling people initially with Dr. Fauci, and nobody listened. When they first formulated the vaccine, they were telling people the potential side effects.
Yeah.
Nobody were listening because they were forcing people to get it. So you just got to be more mindful and make a conscious decision of what you want to happen with your body.
Right.
Your body, your choice. Okay.
I like that. I mean, so okay, let me tell you.
That's for anything and everything.
These are the normal ones, the ones that we know. I think the list was made up though. I think the ops made the list.
Ooh.
This new list that I saw. But the common side effects are pain, redness, or swelling at the injection site. That's when you have that's when you get the vaccine though. Fatigue, headache, muscle aches, fever, chills, nausea. Rare but serious side effects, allergic reactions, anaphylaxis, myocarditis, inflammation of the heart muscle, like you said, okay. Pericarditis, inflammation of the lining around the heart. You said that? Okay, you kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah. A lot of people are forming blood clots. They're having strokes. They're having heart attacks, cardiac arrest. You start noticing a lot of kids in high school were like falling out on the field.
Girl, you just said the two of them. You just said blood clots with thrombocytopenia syndrome, a rare blood disorder, and Guillain-Barré syndrome, a rare neurological disorder that causes muscle weakness. So, but you get these side effects are with everything. You take birth control, it mess you up, do something to you. Yeah. You take inhalers or what I was taking, Dupixent. I did Dupixent. And I was taking it for asthma. I had this long cough, like after COVID. I had the long haul cough or whatever. So I got on Dupixent and got all my asthma medicines updated or whatever. And I'm putting it in my thigh, and
you got thick.
Barely. That's not what happened. But whatever the side effects were, I wanted to stop coughing.
Yeah.
So it's like you're gonna do what you need to do to stop the symptoms that you're experiencing. But one vaccine that I'm not gonna take, y'all, the flu one. I like to die when I took the flu vaccine in 2005 at Winn-Dixie right there in 5 Points West.
They closed now. It's because you almost they closed now.
Oh, y'all. My grandma had just passed, and I got her card. I had her Winn-Dixie card, and it had a free flu vaccine. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go get it. This is my grandma gave me this vaccine. I'm about to go with her off of this vaccine. I don't get it. So do what you will with that.
You just have to be more mindful. Like I said, your body, your choice.
Okay.
Don't let anybody force you into anything that you're not sure about. Do your own research.
Okay. Thank you. It is so. Yeah.
I said I had a struggle week essentially. I canceled everything, and sometimes your well-needed rest come in the form of something that keep you quarantined in the house. So I needed to rest, and so I'm good. I just be careful out there. It's out there.
Okay. You know who you got it from?
No, I think I got it from a Korean barbecue spot.
I ain't.
Oh, what?
The what?
Korean barbecue.
I must have
Was
walked
that-
past somebody in there.
That's the only place you went?
That's the only place I went that would have made a difference.
Which one was it?
Mm.
Stone Age.
Well,
I ain't putting it on Stone Age. I'm saying I think I walked past them. It was a bunch of people sitting up there at that front. Somebody had a headache in there and was like, "Well, I ain't canceling our plans today." And they sitting in
pop
there.
down here, COVID.
They sitting in there tripping.
Got asthma.
Now I done got sick by walking past one of these folks that don't take their health serious.
But that's what happens. You can be. You said that like you went. That was the one place that you hadn't been.
Yeah,
but
that's
you could have come here, and then tonight I could have been sweating and just thought I was hot because I'm getting old. I could have thought I was having a flash, and I could have had a whole COVID.
Well, I mean, I did the journaling. I did a journaling workshop on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and I was feeling weird Sunday. That's why I don't attribute it to nothing I did Sunday. But Saturday, that's the only place I went that day.
When the what?
What? Like
It would have had to happen. You came in contact like 3 or 4 days before.
Okay,
3 or 4 days.
3 or 4.
before you start feeling the
it
symptoms.
has the incubation period. It got to sit and fester for a while before you
Ugh.
start feeling stuff.
So you got everybody sick Sunday. huh?
Listen, you was already sick when you started feeling sick.
That would have mean I would have had to got it from my clients because that's the
Yes,
only place I
that's
been.
what I'm
Of course,
saying.
somebody
Yeah.
you was in close proximity with for
Bingo.
within 6 feet for an extended amount of time, or you touch something and put your finger in your mouth.
that too.
Yeah,
Do y'all remember how?
Do that.
I ain't gonna.
not like that.
Cause I still think it's on surfaces. I still think it's on surfaces. Like it's living right there. You touch them. Bye bye bye.
It could be.
I mean,
Yeah.
y'all stopped disinfecting. Everybody used to walk around with gloves and Clorox wipes, and then y'all got comfortable and stopped doing it. So yeah, it's
That's
probably
like the only virus I've seen that changed in real time. Like we saw the scientific method play out. Like
you
in
remember
real
that?
life. Yeah, I like, yeah, 15 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet, 3 feet.
That's
Come
how
on.
my engagement went. I was engaged during the pandemic. I was supposed to get married March 20 of 2020. And at first it was like only 100 people can gather. And I was like, ooh. Then it was like only
50.
yeah. Then it was like
25.
25. I was like, ooh, I ain't getting married.
Time out.
I said, "Oh, we ain't having a wedding. Give my money back. Run me my money. All them deposits, give me that. So yeah, we have watched the whole process in real time. Eddie, once again, we're glad you're okay.
Yeah, we're glad.
We really carried this
God
out
for
a
Eddie.
long time. We really needed to revisit COVID. We
People,
haven't
man, I
talked
mean,
about it in a
people
long
know this
time.
thing out here
People still
somewhere.
catch
They
it.
can
Yeah,
just
it's out
show
here.
up
People
without
still
you
dying
knowing.
from COVID. That's the crazy.
Yeah.
Like people are still dying from COVID.
Yeah, COVID and the flu.
They still here. They ain't
RSV
going
is
nowhere.
bad, too.
RSV. Yeah, that's
RSV, yeah.
Yeah, Haven, I'm on the radio. Okay. 7 o'clock every Sunday. Haven. Kristen, how was your week?
My week was amazing, man. I just do what I do, lawyering by day, might DJ by night.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
So just
Some
kind of doing
kind
your
of way
thing.
I might be influenced to start back playing the drums for the house of the Lord.
Okay.
Hello? You just running all the records.
I'm just doing it all. Okay.
Yeah, we'll work that out sometime, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Amen.
Touch it.
Amen.
All right.
Oh man, y'all know work is work, double work, triple work. Another funeral. Yeah, that's and working on that little something. That
Okay.
So yeah.
Little
Working on a little
shum
something.
shum.
Y'all see by
Yeah.
2 weeks. We're gonna work on a little something.
Okay then. We're there. We're watching. Wendy, how was your week?
Well, I was just anticipating this really
Oh,
because this is the new thing, and I was very excited, And then, I mean, I've been told that this is the year of congratulations for everybody, not just me. I feel like a lot of people are going to have things that happen and come to fruition
Come
that
on.
they've been praying for. I'm gonna speak that over everybody.
Amen.
So
Receive.
yeah, I was just really anticipating this. I'm excited. Y'all good people.
we are excited to
Everybody.
have you. That's what's up. So, and I also take what you just said about the year of congratulations.
It
and-
is.
and receiving. I went to Mardi Gras, and that was a good time. So that's like usually my first getaway of the year. So I went to Mardi Gras, went to New Orleans one day, did Mobile, the rest of it. The weather made it different because they canceled parades. They moved one of the parades at 6:30 in the morning. Yeah,
Was anybody there?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
Dedicated.
wasn't, but yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they showed on TV. That was a Zulu parade.
I would.
No, because what I'm waking up at 6:30 for, it's like a vacation.
I can't do it either. I wouldn't have did it.
And sometimes I may be up, but I'm not going. I'm not. No, didn't make that one. but definitely made the others. Caught y'all some beats and stuff. What I did. Like I tried to do that in New Orleans. They were like, no, you don't have to do all that. I'm like, that's what I'm here for. I'm just playing. So yeah, that's what I did. Just pretty cool. New energy. Oh snap. New motivation in the week. Eddie, you must not have seen my face.
Negative.
Um,
Negative.
Making some major moves this week. So new motivation to make major moves. Claim what's ours. Like give me me. Come on, give me that. Let me get that. So yeah, all of you that are tuned in, let us know how was your week. Did you get into anything interesting? Anything that we should know about? Something that you'd like to share? Feel free to do so in the stream wherever you may be watching, and then let us know where you're watching. If you see that we're not responding, I'm about to call some people out, and if you don't hear your name, that means we don't see you. So you got to let us know where you are. I see Mariella. Hey there, Victor, and I see Victor and Mariella on this one that have commented. Also, Kishana Rod J Anchor is here. Cornelius is here. Anthony Teresia. Hello, ma'am. They are here. So where are you? Let us know where you're watching. Okay. So also while we were gone, there were a lot of losses, a lot of deaths. Gene Hackman and his wife was one, and that one,
And the dog.
and the dog, and that one is so strange to me. Now, what they said, and I didn't pull this one up because it just came to me, but that he's first of all, he was 93 years old. Wife was 65 years old. She had gone to a farmer's market and contracted a disease that is often carried by rodents. So that happened to her. And then he was dealing with Alzheimer's and something else. So she died a week before he did. Is what the autopsy came back and said. So nobody has said this, but I'm wondering, did she die and he just was laying there? Like, not taken care of, and the dog as well. The reason that they died too.
The dog died from starvation.
Yeah, that was my thought because
It would
nobody
seem
said
like
anything.
That would have to be the case.
Wow. So I wonder why they hadn't
imagine-
said that.
I would imagine that she is his long-term caretaker.
Yeah.
He had limited function at this point. Because is he not near a phone? Is he not near any metric of contacting people outside? Like, was he that dependent upon her making sure that he was good and had the stuff he needed?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah, they said a week between his heart monitor showed some activity or some off activity, and that was that for him. And then her last known date alive was like a week before, So yeah, and I'm just wondering, like, that's it is like a whole. So that's basically 2 weeks they had been in there. Yeah, that's crazy. So
Where is the welfare chick?
Somebody got a call.
The
in.
welfare chick.
I think that's what finally came 2 weeks later.
Okay.
And
Y'all check on me.
Yeah,
Okay.
2 weeks.
where your kids said, has your life become this isolated that's the case? Or is he one of those really, really private celebrities that really didn't want nobody in this business and to make you susceptible to something like this if your caretaker were to be, in a situation like that?
93 years old, Alzheimer's, 65-year-old caregiver. So the age difference alone, maybe I don't even want to make assumptions, but y'all know how I be like, my children don't talk to me because I married somebody their age and then they lived in New Mexico. Who else? That was one. Oh, Victor said, don't forget the door was open. Now that part I didn't.
Yeah, the door was open. It's giving hit vibes.
That one too?
Yeah, that one too. I'm low key a conspiracy theorist.
I mean, so
Just
before
a little bit.
before we got out of here, we were talking about the planes. Remember 2 weeks ago we were talking about the planes. There was some conspiracies with that. But then let's talk about Angie Stone because that has happened while we were off air as well. She was leaving a Mardi Gras performance in Mobile, and my partner, who I go to Mardi Gras with every year, had the opportunity to see her the night before, and she got on the road back to Georgia and was killed in a car accident on I-65 going through Montgomery. Now, once again, everybody's like, y'all, this is real sketchy. She had just been going live about her royalty.
Yeah.
She was leaving. talking about Diddy and Mary J. Blige. She was being vocal about a lot of different things. And some people are saying, yeah, that was a shut up. That was a hit. That was the label. The music industry does that to artists. What y'all saying? What y'all saying?
I'm not saying that every human life isn't valid or is, but
Mhm.
is she really one of those artists where we're like, oh, the record label gonna get her?
I wouldn't have thought that.
What type of royalties was she entitled to? How much? Is it conspiracy theory worthy?
Okay.
Enough to go off. AWF.
Yeah.
If to
True.
go off.
She was
True.
going off once she found out. She
Oh.
was.
Right. Well, you so
So-
messy. So let me tell y'all something about Rod J. Anchor, the anchor here in the city. Do you see this comment? Will you going to the services? I asked him, was he going? Because he posted all the details. He posted the family hour. He posted the two different services. So I said, "Well, you going?" I was just curious because my boy know what be going on. I didn't know if he had ex. I didn't know. So Cliff, stop. Oh boy.
When is the repay?
He knows.
Oh.
He knows everything that's happening before it becomes public.
Okay.
So he's supposed to be up here too. He didn't come to the last meeting that we had, but that's our reporter there. That's our anchor. I just think about, this being on a stage or being somewhere in one moment and then in the next moment, you're not here anymore. So, just really cherishing life. Because when I saw it, I was like, Angie Stone. Sometimes you'll see people.
Because they've killed her 2 or 3 times already.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, so for real this time. And then they posted a video of her talking about it last time.
Yeah. And people were getting confused. I'm like, okay, now is she dead? Is she not dead?
She's really gone this time, y'all. So it's pretty sad. Her family is grieving the loss of their loved one. So, like, celebrity or not, these people are still, friends and relatives and family to people. So we have to be sensitive about that. Last but not least, another major story of loss. College student at Southern University,
Mhm.
basically murdered, y'all,
Yeah.
pledging a fraternity. Do y'all want to cover that? Who wants to cover this one? J-Head, is that on you?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, basically, guy was killed in the process. And for those in the D9, we all know how this process can go. It can go left real quick. So I think the details are still like trickle truth. I don't think we have much of the details, but the arrest tells me that there was something that happened to the young man that probably shouldn't have happened to the young man. And it's unfortunate because, being a person who is Greek and who knows about the process, you take that chance because you don't really have to take that chance anymore. It's a lot of guys that don't take that chance, and to take that chance and for it to go wrong when you lose your life, And unfortunately, this is not a new thing. It's been happening since the fraternity has been around, but it's more out now. We got social media and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Really condolences to the family. Condolences to the Southern University community. And, we're just praying for guys not to take it to the extreme,
So let me tell you the extremes. Caleb Wilson is a young man's name. He was a student at Southern University in Baton Rouge, and he was pledging Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. And these young men that were initiating this off-campus ceremony, they've now been charged with hazing and manslaughter, as they should. Okay. Mr. Wilson, Caleb, was 20 years old, band member, mechanical engineering student. Okay. So first of all, they lied about what happened. Yeah. That's the first charge. You lied. And they didn't say that they were wearing boxing gloves while they were out here pledging these young boys. And caused him to have a seizure after punching him in the chest multiple times. Okay. Yeah, so a lot of people
feel a way about this because a lot of people have experienced
A lot of people
pledging.
dropped line or been dropped because of hazing.
A lot of people have dropped line or
And
been dropped because
I've
of
been
hazing.
commenting on stuff. I'm like, yeah,
And
first I'm not gonna pay for you to whoop
I
me.
didn't comment on you. I'm not gonna pay for
I'm
you
not
to
gonna
whoop
pay
on me. First of all, you're not gonna pay you
beat
all this
to be
money for you to beat
or
on me, to be loyal or
to the
whatever. Pledge
organization. I'm not gonna respect
my allegiance
you.
to an
I'm going
organization.
to fight.
That's what I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna respect.
So, I'm definitely gonna have to fight you. Every line I was on, I dropped because who you talking to?
Respect you anymore.
Okay, I can't well what? Oh, okay, don't go well. Who you talking to?
You don't punch
I
me with
quit.
some gloves. I'm going to fight.
Yeah. That's my story. That's my story. Girls, I'm not gonna have red
That's
hair.
my
I was
story.
pledging
Girls,
an
I'm not gonna let
organization.
red.
My hair was red when
Organization.
I came to
Yeah.
the meeting. What you
My
change
hair was
it?
red when I came to the meeting.
No,
What you guys gonna change it?
Yeah.
No, I quit.
I gotta be well tonight.
Today.
I gotta be well tonight.
Honestly,
Expeditious.
I'll sleep. I'm not gonna. I forgot.
I quit.
I quit.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah,
did.
I can see that though.
I did.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Don't worry. College I went to, there was only one predominant group, and they just treated you crazy outside of time when they trying to get you to go to IHOP. For that meeting, and it's like they were just so close knit. Anybody that they already didn't accept, they just treated real different. But then they'll get somebody who don't act like that to go and try to recruit people. And
Okay, making the band.
Basically,
Eat it
That's
with a cheesecake.
yeah. I'm not doing what this. Maybe somebody that is Greek can help us better understand that. Why do you need to abuse me to make me love these letters of this brother or sisterhood?
It's
Why?
really not about the abuse. It's
Okay.
really about the process. I mean, football team is. I mean, every organization
lying.
has a form of it.
Yes.
Band. I mean, it's about process. It's about you.
The student welcoming
It
group.
makes you stronger. Like as a person who's almost 30 years in this game. Yeah, I wouldn't have it no other way. Now, would I go through all of it again? I don't know. Questions, but the process made a bond. And that bond is unshakable.
Like, girl, I don't trust you. Run well with a blindfold on. Girl, I know you don't like me. I'm not running with no blindfold on and trusting you. Hold me up. Now, maybe the girl behind me, maybe the one in front of me because we together. But the other ones of y'all that used to see me walk around campus and thought I was liking your dude, now you finna try to abuse me?
So you might have experienced this woo.
You ain't feeling it.
Nope.
You might have experienced this woo, but
Okay.
like after you have a group for 10 to 12 weeks, they have a similar bond.
Yeah.
So what component is the physical part that it perceptually at least has to be a part of that experience?
Basically, I went through it. You can go through it, and we all gonna go through it.
So like now it's just a feedback loop.
Because what? Yeah, basically.
No, it's-
Yeah.
There's no way to stop that if that's the case.
Right.
what
A feedback loop.
I mean, but you learn so much through the process: sacrifice, discipline, dedication, commitment, things that pan out and go through your life.
I
They're all
learned that
part
from
of-
my parents.
Yeah, you get a little bit more of it too.
Everybody don't learn that at home.
So they need to get online to learn it.
I
Maybe.
mean, not necessarily
Military
online,
behaves-
but they need to be on something. So
Yeah.
I mean, so it's kind of the same way being a collegiate athlete. So
True,
I didn't
true.
play. I'm not Greek, but or at least not yet.
Yeah, freshman,
But,
get the towel. Let go.
Yeah. So I mean, it's no different than when I played.
Why I got to get the towel?
Because you're a freshman.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, you seen Love and
Pay your
Basketball. You
respect.
saw how they did Monica.
That was
your
my
respect.
favorite movie. I'll pay my dues. I'll do that. But you're not going to abuse me. You're not going to beat me. If I'm sleepy,
But you'll run a lap.
yeah, I run lap.
Just push up, sit up.
Yeah, as long as I ain't stupid. You got to do it till I say stop. My arm just gave out. So guess what? My arm
Sometimes
said
you don't know
stop.
how strong you are until
You
go
need
through it.
talking to Mike. If I hate
Sometimes you don't know how strong those arms are until you finish the process.
Well, I guess I won't
The
know.
mind has more power.
So you making
the
me get an
body.
attitude right now. I'm having flashbacks. The girl name was Lisa. Lisa.
I'm trying to see what the mind has to do with you making me eat cat food, though. Things like
Okay. Okay. Yeah, they
I can understand the
Funny
other
game.
parts of the. I can understand the other parts of the process.
for the
I'm
gang.
pledging.
Oh, he said it's a gang.
I said for the game.
Gang initiation is what I'm
to
hearing.
test my
Gang.
endurance
Yeah.
and teaching me humility. I understand.
Yeah,
that.
I can take some of
Y'all
that.
know what I think of?
That has nothing to do with Purina Puppet Child.
Nothing at all.
Okay.
Nothing at all.
I think of that
Nothing.
episode of Fresh Prince where Carlton was doing all that scrubbing, and then at the end he was like, "You can't join because you got too much going on as a black person." I'm like,
Mm,
Yeah, you're not
if,
black enough.
so what that I think what that pointed out, and I
Where
think
the
what
puppet child come from?
I think what is experienced everywhere is like
Where it come
there are
from?
people who be in those organizations who they don't have good intention. They
Mm.
in it for the power. They in it for the wrong reason. And it's like when that person ends up being the one that get to make the decisions for people to eat cat food,
Mhm.
why is he doing that? Like, because
That's
it's
just
now-
like the boy being bullied and then becoming a police officer.
yeah,
Mm.
exactly. Yeah.
So, explain it.
That too. I mean, like, okay, a lot of times, real talk, my experience, the person who goes far left had the weakest process. Like, you didn't play it for real,
Okay.
but you got the letters, and now you super noob, you super omega, super cute, right? Like,
All
seriously,
the
that-
clothes
like-
in your closet.
Like, you the one, but dude, like, you skipped a couple days.
Wow.
You didn't come back. You was one of the ones that went and crossed nationals, didn't come back. Like, you that guy.
So then you
And then you rally up, and now you the toughest, hardest Q in Birmingham. Like,
But isn't it all for the greater good though?
Hmm.
It's
Nah,
for
man.
representation of the organization, right?
nah,
Oh, so that's not what it's
all
for.
ain't created equal.
994-8949 is the number.
What a
994-8949.
D9 there, y'all call.
I definitely want to hear. Right. I definitely
Well,
want to
that's
hear.
The question I want the answer to is because I'm not inclined to believe that's the first chest he punched. It's
Yeah,
just
it
that
ain't.
everybody else didn't collapse. So
That's true,
what
too.
is the ones around that person doing? Are they saying, bro, you doing too much? Or are they all just, if they survive it, then it's good? You know, like what did that
Yeah.
look like?
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't he alumni? He wasn't
The
really,
guy?
Yeah, he
Or
wasn't
the two?
even an active student.
They don't play it for real. I'm sorry, I ain't say that out loud.
Oh,
That one already.
Yeah. So Caleb McCray, 23, allegedly punched Caleb Wilson multiple times during the off-campus initiation ceremony. And he's the first one pictured, charged with criminal hazing and manslaughter. And then the other person, I have not seen his name yet, but Mr. McCray allegedly hit Mr. Wilson 4 times in the chest, after which he collapsed, suffered a seizure, and lost control of his bodily functions. The arrest warrant affidavit said no one present attempted to call for emergency assistance, which is another problem. You know you're in trouble. You know what you just did, and you didn't even call to get the man help. And you're supposed to be my brother. Oh, okay. All right. So my next question is, in his demise, does he automatically become a part of the organization? Do they honor him in that way? His daddy
I wouldn't even
wasn't
want
Omega
that
as well.
on my name. I wouldn't even want to be honorary to anything that's killed me.
Mm.
That I had to die to become a part of.
And that's the point. Like,
to become a part, not that you're actively a part and something happened and then now you're honorary or they do a memorial, but you didn't even cross the line yet. You died in the process of going to college and being a band member and want to be a part of a brotherhood.
Yeah.
And you got killed in the process. So no.
But it tells me you already played. It tells me you already pledged in the band.
And he survived that.
Yeah. So again, you got that one crazy bruh, and you just said alumni, so I'm putting a super question mark by his cue. And I'm just being honest.
They let him run the line, all right.
I don't know if he's running there or he's just in there.
Mm.
But again, like, people get this real big head who ain't never really gone through the process. I done seen them and I done been with them.
All right. 994-8949 is the number. I do want to hear from those of you who have withstood the process, and you can say, like, yeah, when I pledged, there was no hazing, or there are things that I can't speak on. That's typically what you get. Like, I can't speak on it. I went to the emergency room 2 times, but I made it out. So we
Yeah, I ain't telling that part, but I ain't never eat no parental, man. I ain't never no cat food. No, we ain't doing that.
You don't know what you're gonna do. Put this blindfold on. Come out here.
I said
Come
no.
outside with this white t-shirt.
No.
Oh, So you got a smart mouth.
Yeah,
See,
don't get me in my
like
head.
the narrative of it, you can even imagine, like, it's the fear that you put in people to get them to even, like, I want something that bad. I want something so bad that I'll endure these different things online, or I'll go and pay this and do that, and I'll walk over to Brooklyn Bridge to Junior's and did it some cheap. I don't want it that bad. You can have it.
Right. I mean, homage and humility should never end in homicide.
That's good. You need to put that down.
Y'all tweet that.
That'll preach.
That'll preach. That's preach. That's preachery right there.
That's a good Easter one.
Yeah.
My. Write that down. Write that down. Because you said what now?
Homage and humility should never end in homicide.
But it did, because they
But it
killed
did.
Jesus.
And it's not the first. Oh, Jesus.
Come on.
That's why they say never say never. Because it does.
I mean, we still got some
Jesus.
E flat.
Okay, on the Hammond. Let's go, Hammond.
My. That boy said.
Where your stick?
In my bag.
That boy said something good. That would have stood up on that one for real. I would have stood up on that. So yeah, I want to hear what you got to say. Y'all quiet on it. They probably gonna be quiet on it, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. So praying for his family, because I would be so furious. Like I would not know. I don't know, because I was just looking at how his mama was crying. I'm like,
And see, the problem is they sign, like, it's so protected now. You sign a waiver saying you're not going to engage in that process. So I don't, usually the frats do pay, but a lot of times they fight it. So it just depends. But like, you sign a waiver saying I will not participate in hazing of no form, physical, whatever the case may be. Of course, again, it's been 28, 29 years since I did so, 27. And so the process has evolved because, again, we keep getting lawsuits.
Is that for the person that's pledging, or for
That's for everybody online?
What I'm saying, how that person
and the people that are.
But because I was thinking, why would the person that's under the scrutiny of the process have the position to be able to say y'all can't do this to me, or I'm not going to participate because I signed that piece of paper? That ain't going to look good. That's going to be a bigger problem.
It's in your packet, man. It's in your packet. You sign. Basically the fraternity got to protect itself. It's been so many of these lawsuits, so many of these deaths, so many of these technicalities. Y'all remember? That might have been during COVID, right before COVID. The boy down at the beach drowned. Like, it goes left, it goes wrong. Usually, you got alcohol involved and things like that nature, or somebody comes that's already intoxicated and
want to beat up on the.
I would definitely want to talk to the DP of the line.
So look, I will sign a waiver saying that I won't get punched in the chest, and if I do, what am I to do? Like, that's a crazy waiver.
Oh, since you brought up nursing, what I want to know is, did they do a medical? Do y'all have to do a medical exam before you can say you can pledge, or if you had any prior illnesses? Because if it's 1 in a million, or 1 in 50, 1 in 100, that all these people are getting punched in the chest, nobody's dying. What made this boy have a seizure? What caused him to have a seizure when he got punched in the chest?
That might be something. You got to get your blue form, do a physical, all that. Right. Just like you got to do for sport. That would be good.
Is that a thing? They don't.
That needs to happen.
Because they're not supposed to be doing anything to cause physical harm, right?
Correct.
Okay, so
but
can't do it.
But even with that being said, like, you could just have a seizure. I mean, like, you just have it. You don't have to have a history.
So strenuous activity.
Yeah, you do.
You do. What? There is a condition. People have conditions that cause them to have seizures. You just don't be born and have seizures.
No, I get that, boy. But I've seen people who never had them have them.
Because
it's something wrong. It means it's something wrong.
You don't know. Yeah. You don't know it will happen, right?
That's with any illness.
But if I'm put under stress,
right. So something may cause or trigger it. So did the punch in the chest trigger him to have a seizure?
More than likely, yes.
Listen to this. I want to leave this one with this point right here. And it's going back to what I started with. According to police, a group of individuals dropped Mr. Wilson off at a hospital and allegedly lied to the staff, saying that he had collapsed while playing basketball, and then they left before the authorities arrived. So
guilty behavior.
Yeah, like I'm
very guilty.
And I'm supposed to, man, what?
Roll out. It's gonna be a lot of.
So
lot
they
of
just
jail
left the
time.
boy there for dead
They took him to the hospital.
and just
'Cause you-
rolled out.
I'm telling you, the frat is not playing it. None of them. All of the frats are straight anti-hazing. So if you participate at your own risk on both sides, and you know you're going to jail.
Okay, so don't touch me. I said the Greek alphabet forwards and backwards. What you hit me for?
But again, it's called underground for a reason.
Well, we
Yeah,
finna,
Well,
they're
I
gonna have
mean,
to review
we
that.
finna, we finna rumble.
This is the thing. That's why I mind my business when it comes to fraternity stuff. I do not play. I wouldn't even drink out of my lady Zeta cup some years back. That last cup
Keep
can
it
be
over
in there.
there.
I ain't drinking out of that.
Yeah.
That is, I
Like
mind my
nobody saw
business.
you, but
You know, and they make sure that they let you know, mind your business.
Mm.
And so it's kind of like, to me, it sounds like trying to get the police to investigate themselves when it comes to these situations. Like, how do you trust that the OGs of the fraternity are actually genuinely saying don't be hazing y'all versus, oh, y'all know how it be, that little secret language that they use. And then when something like this happen, they ain't willing to say nothing. One, to protect the fraternity, and two, because they signing all these papers saying we can't do this, but they not saying in those rooms where ain't nobody listening to them, y'all know how they be, and y'all know what they be doing, and y'all know what we went through, and you know, and it's like, it's this ritual.
Yeah.
And we all also know that there's like, I don't know that much about these sentiments, but I know the concept of being paper versus going through hazing, it creates this hierarchy of, we're better than you if we went through this process. And so if this process got to happen, that it has to be something. It's not like we're not going to be paper light in this process. And so there is a cultural part of, we do have to make this a pretty tough situation. And when we come from a world full of violent people, there's going to be individuals in there, even if everybody ain't on that, like punch them, hit them, you know, do physical stuff to them. Once those people are identified, what's being done about it to the people around them?
All right. I like all of those points. And what's being done to them is that Southern University has had to cease all lines and all that intakes, right? And I ain't mad at that. And I'm not mad at the consequences that the ones that actually did it are gonna go to jail, go to prison. Like,
I don't know, man. You shouldn't do everybody. Do the cute. You shouldn't do everybody. Do the cues. That's who did it.
I gotta do all of it, because then y'all gonna have a line too, and you still gonna be trying to.
Well,
yeah, let me go on. Let me just. Nobody.
Another part to that is, when does the culture as a whole look at it and say we change versus, oh, well, that school or that line or that individual or that cue or that boy's health conditions? It's like they zoom in as far as they can to find reasons not to change the culture, because it keep happening.
Yeah.
What kind of mass change happens for them to say, okay, we really need to look at how we run these things differently? And again, it ain't my business, but on the outside, people got thoughts. You know, if this gonna keep happening, like how many mamas gonna have, and cousins and brothers and stuff gonna lose somebody to, you know, a group of dudes who just want to drop them off at the hospital?
Right. No.
What I think it is if you want to reap the benefits of this brotherhood and this sisterhood, you're gonna have to go through the process just like everybody else. I'm not saying that it's right, but think about the end result. We got to shed positive light on these fraternities and sororities as well, because there are so many benefits to the camaraderie. Granted, people do go through it, and people abuse and misuse, and you have to go through these processes, which should be changed. But they're looking at it. If I went through the process and I get these benefits, you walk into an office, you see your frat brother or your sorority sister. We ain't talking about DEI no more. Ain't no DEI. I know her. I'm fixing to give her a position. So they're looking at what they're using it for in the end. You went through this process, and I'm going to help you on the outside. I mean, it goes without saying. Look at the city of Birmingham. So, and you don't have to go too far into detail, but when it was one mayor, this group ran the city. This mayor, this group runs the city. So it's the camaraderie. So you have to look at both sides of it. Yes, they were wrong. Yes, stuff happened that shouldn't have happened. And condolences to the family. But these students also know what they're going into when they go into it.
And the funny part about it,
the parents root them on.
I'm gonna tell you this. The funny part about it, being on both sides, they want to do it.
Yeah.
Right. Because you don't want, as Eddie said, you don't want to have the label as I'm paper. It is no fun in the paper world.
And that, you know, and I definitely don't want, I know the value. Like again, my personality don't fit fraternity life. You know, they just don't. And so a lot of my friends though, who it fit for, is transcended their life tremendously in ways that they want it. And so they're definitely valuable. What I'm talking about is just how do you knock off that top layer of a level of violence such that this happens when it happens? How do you create a culture of people that understand at the baseline, like there's limitations to what, because even at like when I was working at JBS, they teach you how to restrain people properly, like people that may have mental, you know, disorders and stuff. Even if that's got to be a part of it, have a group of guys designating a guy to be the person that gives appropriate, you know, physical contact. Like, so when I say culture change, I'm not saying what it should or shouldn't be.
Be sensible.
I'm saying what can change that reduces the amount that this happens.
If you have an attorney that's a part of your organization, they need to be at shop. If you have a physician or a nurse or whatever, they need to be at shop to make it make sense. And then, you know, like, all right, pull back. That's enough. All right, chill out. Okay, come on. You did too much. You out. What, you know, a referee. Because y'all going to do it anyway.
That's why I say whoever was on the line, watching the line.
They was with it too.
Well, what? Again, but you got to cut it off.
All right, I'm cutting it off. Last comment right here says, hate to say it, but it's going to happen again.
Oh, yeah.
And that right there is the culture that we live in when it comes to everything. It's going to happen again. I mean, you know, we going to fuss about it and cry about it for a minute and change profile pictures and have topics about it. And then
to the next story.
Yeah. Yeah, because, you know, you had to change your profile picture to honor the person. You got to do that. And then just in a few minutes.
Somebody else dies.
We're going to march.
No.
No, we ain't protest.
No. Let's talk about the protest. Let's keep it moving. Y'all thought the protest wasn't going to do anything. The boycott. Boycotting and protesting don't work in 2025. Y'all basically just going to buy everything the day before and the day after. And I don't get it. That's stupid. That's where y'all people work. Why would you not go shop where your people work? Did y'all boycott? Did you shop on that day or did you shop black? What did you do? 994-8949, jump in on the conversation and let's talk about what we did quickly and the proof of the impact. The proof of the impact. I will tell you that the stocks were down. They were all down. I will tell you that more stores are closing. I don't know if it's just because we didn't go shopping on that day or not, but we'll see when y'all do it again. Keep doing it. I was happy that day. I didn't buy nothing. And I be buying stuff. I ain't buy nothing. I felt good about it.
I ain't buy nothing, but I don't know that I was standing with the movement the way
Get out.
A lot of people were. I stood with the community, but not necessarily with the movement.
Oh, okay.
What got me was the people that misunderstood the protest and were in Target that day shopping all black.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go to Target anyway and just shop in the Black History section.
No, they misunderstood. They thought we were only shopping black that day, so they were inside of these stores shopping
black. That was insane.
Oh God.
And it was like the whole church was there, and their pastor. And
they rallied up the band,
gigging it on. It was real crazy.
Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that they went into the store and they bought items by black people?
Correct. They went in Target. Bought all Tabitha stuff.
Okay. In Target. Target.
I can see that. Yeah.
But that wasn't an assignment. They failed the assignment.
Absolutely not.
Get that. At that moment, I can definitely see that there was another subgroup saying. I can definitely see that there was another subgroup within the movement saying we're not going to punish our own.
Okay.
In this process,
we gonna go buy their stuff.
We gonna just buy their stuff, so because the numbers are going to run to their stuff, right?
Okay.
Just I think showing the impact of the dollar versus not going at all. So like, don't make Tabitha.
They still made the money. They still made the money. If you want to support black, you just go to their website. You could have saved time, money, and gas by staying at home.
I'm just saying,
twiddling your thumbs to that website.
All of us didn't stay off the bus either. You have that group that just, I mean, all boycotts are not. They don't have.
They're not created equal.
Yeah.
So with good intention, I'm not going to shop today. I'm not gonna give money to the gas company. I mean, where I get my gas, the oil people. I'm not going to. They said use cash. Don't use your debit cards or credit cards because of the interest, and the companies get that. What else was it? Certain stores don't go to these stores because they've been outright direct about how they feel about DEI and just supporting the agenda of President Musk and Vice President Trump. Like, they've been very clear about these things. So why not just try? Even if why not?
Here's the thing. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing with the boycott. And I support whatever my people put in place. But here's the thing about knowing and being in the know. If you know you're going to boycott, and I asked some people that worked at Target. My son works at Target. Okay. So I asked some people that work at Target. They had an influx in numbers the day before and the day after. They weren't affected by the boycott because you had so many people coming in the store the day before spending the money that they would have spent the next day at these companies and these businesses. So it really didn't impact them. They have bad days. In business, you prepare for those bad days. So they really didn't feel the negative effect that it was supposed to have on the business because those are the days you prepare for. As an entrepreneur, I know that. Some days you're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. So that's really how they looked at it. One day I didn't make the money that I would have made, but it balanced out because the next day it was people at Target at 7:00 in the morning.
Yep. Okay.
Shopping.
So I remember when I worked at Belk, we would have our morning meeting, to kind of give you your numbers for the day. These are your goals. And it also showed you that same day, the year before, and the goal for today. Now, true enough, I don't care if I don't sell 5 bottles of Estee Lauder. I don't care because you're still going to give me my check. So I don't care. However, Mr. Belk them cared. And so if I didn't reach the goal that day, I mean, the lights didn't get cut off, but the goal was not met that day. So I was kind of just trying to put it out like that too. Every day has a goal. Every day has a destination. So if we impede on the destination for that day, we've done something.
So here's what businesses do as well. They shoot over what their goal should be so that you'll over deliver to make up for that gap. So if I over expect something from you or you over promise something and you under deliver, then it still doesn't affect them because their goals are set for the year.
Yeah.
Not daily goals. And these people have been in business for so long that they know trends, just like the market. People know trends for the market. So this day, the market may be crashing, but people know not to pull their money out. They know when things start trending down, that's when most people put their money in.
So that would then sound as if we as African-American people that shop and spend all the money should just keep spending it because it's...
No, you just start putting people in places where you can shop with your own people.
Okay. So it wasn't about Al Sharpton being the face of this. It wasn't about that because a lot.
No, it was definitely several different outlets of protest. Like Jamal Bryant has the 40 day, which I think would hit more impactful. Okay. But if you think about it, and I'm just reading here, $12 million a day. I don't care if I spend 15 million one day, you're still losing millions, which I think that's the goal, to make them feel that, because business understand in their pocket. And I think us announcing it, as you say, makes allows them to prepare, right? The real impact is just do it. But here's the problem. We can't effectively do it because we don't own nothing. So if we do support our own, we can't get everything we need from our own. It's just the reality.
So basically what I am hearing is,
and this has been a long time coming. So all these companies are ahead of the trend, and not just with the boycott. You have to look at other stuff that's taking place. People aren't really shopping in stores anymore anyway.
True.
So they're converting more to e-commerce. A lot of these stores, they're getting contracts with Amazon. Like I have a client that she works for the mail carrier. what they've done is, you didn't get mail on Sundays, but you know how these people are converting. You have to pivot. They've gotten contracts with Amazon, so they deliver on Sundays for Amazon only. So a lot of these companies are pivoting anyway, regardless of a boycott, regardless of if you shop there or not. These people already have systems in place to substitute for the income that Black people aren't giving as a whole. So if you're converting to online, if you have a website, people are, when we saw COVID happen, nobody was in the store. What were people doing? Home delivery.
Yep.
So you don't have to go in the store. And then a lot of people, they feel like if I don't see you shop or they can't see me shop, then they're not held accountable for going in the store. So they still shopping.
All right, y'all. We're going to come back and finish this conversation in our second hour, which starts now.
Is getting ready to change your future and find your more than job. For more details, log on to jobsbham.com. W235 BS Birmingham, WTV Birmingham, according to French Broadcasting Company. We are the all-new V94.9 WATV. We on a war tour, lady, we got the plan, going into different places, with a mic in the hand. Here's exactly what the city been missing. Let's get them jumping and twisting, thinking and reminiscing. I'm hoping you comprehending this is right. And lady, booze, I hope you ain't gonna find another like a fuck the book, gonna keep the conversation going. Hold up, you can't deny it, no sir. I know me, I'm just like on my watch and I train, we ain't gonna never slow down. I'm cool with it. And yes, I mean, if we put it there, spread love, we got enough to go round. It's politics as usual out in the city. Let's talk about what matters, but still keep it pretty. Tell them how the people feel it. Exercise your First Amendment. Freedom to speak your mind, regardless of religion. Your opinion is your opinion. I ain't arguing with you. Or maybe I am a war winner, number one in the hand. I switch it up. The wife will work when I get through. She picks it up and she gon' drop a couple jewels. Listen up, we gon' do war tour. Ladies, we got the plan. Going into every place with a mic in our hands. We on a war tour, ladies, we got the plan. Going into different place with a mic in our hands.
Hour number 2, right here on B94.9 WATV. Lady Wu, the crew is in the building. It's time to, well, we were talking about the boycott, so I won't start any music back until we finish that conversation, and then we're going to dive in the Trumpster. So, quickly, is it effective or not? Is boycotting in 2025 effective or not? Is there something else that we should be doing? What are your thoughts?
Definitely effective. Go ahead.
I don't think this particular boycott or type of boycott is effective. We've been doing this since, I don't know if y'all remember back in 2021, they found out that Target was collaborating with police in Minnesota by facial recognition and all this camera stuff related to what was going on with, I think, Freddie Gray or whichever one of those people. And a boycott ensued then. This is like the 5th boycott of Target in the last 10 years. Now, this would happen to be expensive because it's women are also protecting their products and targeting LGBT business people are creating theirs, and Black people. So it's more expensive. So it's more people. So they'll feel it differently. But the reality, especially of Black people in America, is the best we gonna get out of capitalism is transactional. Like the best are we waiting for them to have a genuine shift to be like, oh, we value Black people? Versus, no, let's just make sure they got Tabitha stuff in here and Taraji stuff in here and Bevel stuff and all these Black company stuff in here, and it's just transactional. Look, our people will come shop with you if you keep this stuff here, and if something go down in these communities, we expect you to donate money to it and stick to that promise. But yeah, when you drop your donations, when you drop your promises, then you got to deal with us. But what do we? The thing is, when these boycotts happen, this is a hostage situation, essentially. Where are our demands? What do we want from Target?
Okay.
I need somebody to say, Target, this is what we need. These changes, what y'all gonna have to do. And when they do them, then we free to go back to there. But like these seem to be aimless boycotts that are well intended and that I'm gonna stick with the community. But what is the outcome? Because otherwise, we all just gonna be shopping back in Target in 6 months and not remembering why we even boycotted it in the first place.
I think like once I stop doing something consistently, I don't have to go back.
Yeah.
Like I went in Target. I'm just tell you on the air. Tell you. I went up in there because Black History Month was over. So I went like the first day in March 1st. I went in there. I was like, let me go see what they had in here for Black History Month. And did they mark it down yet? They had not marked it down yet. So I was kind of bothered by that. I was like, it's over. Mark it down. They ain't mark it down. But I did get this bag. It says, your voice speaks volumes. This is from Black creator at Target. I was like, now that's really all I ever come here for. Anyway, I don't even know what the hype is. I don't know why y'all be running the Target like that.
This is, another piece that I want to add is if something is worth boycotting for your principles, then it's worth not even going there.
Yeah.
It's worth figuring out your own way to navigate to acquiring the things that you need. Like, do that. Just change to not dealing with the people. Mm-hmm. Now that gets dicey because in white supremacy capitalist America, we don't got that many options. What Jay was talking about, we don't own nothing, but find the people that you comfortable with buying things from. Stop patronizing the people that you feel are morally compromised or you're not okay with that transactional existence, and just stick with that. But we're not going to be able to get a whole community like that.
No,
on the same page. It's like when you talk about food deserts, when you talk about there's this cities don't have Black owned other stuff to participate in. I think that's something to be built. I think that's a conversation to be had. Who can put money together in the city to create a grocery store where like the things that Black people buy exist? They got one for the Latino community. They got one for the Asian community. They got one for the Indian community. But we just get to go to Walmart and Publix and all of these other ones. Is that an acknowledgement that we don't have our own defined culture enough to create something ourselves?
Mm-hmm. We've actually created everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And they piggyback off of it. So we have been the blueprint for a long time, but I look at Target, and this might be a little vulgar. It's like a plantation almost. They got a few of us on the inside. So when they get these contracts with these Black creators, they're essentially saying, hey, they got their products in our store. So we got them now.
We said
so now y'all buying Black inside of a corporation that don't support. So it's really like a double standard almost. I mean, but these people aren't really making the money they should be making off of their product. Mm-hmm. They're contracted, so they get a percentage
of my own stuff
of the sale.
You know what? Ben and Jerry's is the only company that really supports. Like, I don't know what support looks like to y'all, but to me, support looks like Out Loud Ally or either big cash donation, and people can like, this is support. Support is not. We got a Black History section.
Yeah. And I'm gonna roll the dice back. You brought up an interesting point. This very same conversation came up during COVID. Y'all remember? Early and it was May after Floyd. Mm-hmm. You had Papa John's, you had Target, you had several companies, Starbucks, and all of them feared the dollar. And they made immediate changes. We talked about it.
Got in there,
I remember talking about it. I'm gonna try to pull it up.
Yeah.
But they were token changes. We even went so far as to asking them to take down monuments in the city of Birmingham. Mm-hmm. Hello, somebody.
Actually went down there and tried to take it down.
They were down there with a Chevy pickup and some chains. And
an ice pick.
And some picks. Okay. And riots ensued after that. But I'm saying that to say, like, back to your point, we've been here before. Mm-hmm. Because we're going to have to stay here because we don't own anything. Where are you going to go? If you don't go to Target, where are you going? Walmart on the list too. Yeah. I'm sorry. Where are you going to go to get the stuff you need?
Ross.
And they don't support we actually have a grocery store in downtown Fairfield.
Yeah.
How many of us can say we've been in the store?
Carver Jones.
We have those things that if we invest in, they could flourish. We have places where we could put our business, but do people know enough about it?
And then, like,
is there enough support?
Yeah, like, what do you I've seen it on the news in the morning. I've seen, we've talked about it here, all these different things, but then it's our stuff, and it's like we messed up. You know what? I'm tired of talking about it.
But even going back to like, so Marinos, right?
Yeah.
Marinos is local.
Yeah, but it ain't black.
It's not. But at this point, I think to say that we're only doing black is not realistic.
We ain't ready for that shit.
We ain't ready.
Okay.
And so, as in all movements, especially our cause, we've never gotten there by ourselves. And so we got to align and partner with those who do have our back and support them.
Can y'all call in there so we can know it's you? 994-8949. If you all have our back.
There's a lot of anti-blackness in them other communities.
Yeah,
like what does have our back look like?
I want them to call us and tell.
Like,
I want them to tell us.
Look? Is it voting? Is it like with legislation? Is it? I mean, they'll take our dollars.
I
said Bernie was blooded, right? You got white guys that were killed, lynched, and all that. So I'm just saying, collectively, I'm gonna say this: collectively, all white people are not bad, and collectively, all black people are not good, right? So we know that our cause was never going to be put in the right hands to get the right things done without the right people. And just fortunately for us, we had the right white people advocating the cause. In this case,
so we need some good white people.
I mean, you always got to have it.
Come on in.
Period.
No,
you got to have it.
No, I agree with that. But you know, we just got at some point we got to create the infrastructure or have an infrastructure plan for black people in this situation. Because even if a black-owned grocery store in Fairfield, even if they crank up and the knowledge come, when I drive over there from my office in Hoover and I get there and they ain't got no lettuce because all the black people shopping there, I'm going to Walmart.
Look,
I'm going to Walmart
and
to
the
get my
other black
lettuce.
people gonna be like, well, they don't have lamb chops, they ain't got crab legs.
It's very quickly gonna become they don't have the stuff that we buy with convenience from these other places. And so, what does an infrastructure for that look like? It just I want to make sure I am not rejecting that notion.
Yeah,
but it can't just be don't shop here for 40 days and we have nothing to replace the thing that we were doing for 40 days. So, we weren't doing for 40 days.
So nothing starts off at its fullest potential, right? And I think it takes the investment. It takes time with anything. Nothing is going to happen overnight. But I think that investment, the time it takes to invest in anything, a lot of people don't have the patience. And we as a whole we're a ready-made society. So if you have something that started and people haven't made the investment or went and shopped with that grocery store, then they're not going to have the capital to expand or get these products that you used to have in the other places because y'all quit too soon. Just like with boycotts, we stop too soon. We support for a little while and then we stop. It's nothing consistently happening that we're making an investment for anything that we have to grow, to become what they have. So we have to know that it's going to take time and we're going to have to invest time and money to grow these things. Black Wall Street wasn't built overnight.
Right.
These places where we had these communities, they weren't built overnight. People just didn't automatically have the funds and the support overnight to have their own churches, businesses, schools. It does not happen overnight. We have to make that investment. And just because they don't have what you need right then, okay, go and get it where you can get it because we've ready made. So that same money that you had, why not rally with the business owner and say, hey, what can we do collectively to get these products in this store? Nobody wants to be a part of the solution.
I don't like them. We had a run-in years ago, and I don't want to do business with him.
And that's the mentality that we have. Instead of working as a collective, you don't have to like me. You're saying that we need these white people. A lot of these white people don't like each other, but they do it as
we know what we need to do.
Yes, they do it as a collective, so their businesses can grow. They don't bite. They backbite and they backstab. They do, but guess what? The money is still there. The money is still there because they know if we rally the way they rally, we're way more powerful, have way more knowledge, and we're way stronger. I'm sorry.
I have a thought.
I do.
We keep talking about the white people, but we have yet to mention the Asian community. I don't hear them having a show talking about nothing, but definitely not about, if we had some good white people or somebody else, I've never heard that. never heard the Hispanic or Mexican community saying, if we had some good white people, we could do this or that. I never heard that. I've never seen it.
You want to know why?
They don't do that.
They teach community.
Correct. They all live in the
teach- it's a
house.
part
They
of the
work
principle.
at this one place. They all live in the house,
Mhm.
and they save till they get the first person the house,
A house.
and
yes.
then they get the next person the house, and then they get the next person the house.
I'm not
and they
living with
continue
you
to
all my
build.
life.
Exactly. I don't
need
even
my
like
own.
you.
But
You don't
another
even
thing,
put the toilet seat down. I don't really
moving
like you,
out.
but
another thing
I'm gonna
that
stay
they
here
do,
so we can build this whole little empire.
Okay. So we
another
don't do
thing
that.
that's also done for them is the incentives.
The incentive.
Trumpster, I'm not gonna Trumpster.
Come on
That's
here. You
one
listen-
thing
come on
about
here.
him that I do respect. Okay. He's trying to keep the dollar inside the US. We're gonna make you pay for this green card visa, $5 million. If you can afford it, buy it. But at the same time, those incentives have to stop.
5 million. That boy said
Those-
5 million.
But you say 5 million, but it's not far-fetched for a cartel.
How many we gonna buy?
It don't matter. Their resources are unlimited.
And then he's gonna talk to us and make us feel like we're making a. Let's go.
But that's why Asian communities are being built as quickly as they are, because they have those resources. They have funds. You come over here, you get a visa, and we're gonna give you $50,000 and an 800 credit score.
Well, that's all I want. So look, we're gonna get Eddie's coming. I'm gonna go and leave and come back. Eddie, you got the last minute. It ain't gonna take that long. Go ahead, but we got 1 minute left.
I don't even want to say they teach community. They just didn't have it extracted from them through slavery and white supremacy the way that we did. I mean, they get to Indian cultures get to, collect money, give it to a person that come over here. Asian cultures get to do that. Latino culture, like they never had it extracted from them in the way that we had it extracted from us. And so, and not only that, but the anti-black sentiment around the world is so prevalent that like they won't even give a black person in the black community the same kind of grant or loan that they will give a Korean woman to or family to run the hair businesses. Like the anti-black we dealing with white supremacy. We dealing with nobody don't want black people to have nothing. And the reason that other cultures around the world don't want black folk to have nothing is because white people convince them that black people shouldn't have nothing.
Well, you said it, and that's what it is. And that's what it is. So the good whites, if you're listening, we want to know you.
No, that's why I'm saying it. I mean, the best, I'm in my head, the best we can get is transaction. The best we can get is you do this for me, I do this for you. I don't care if you like me or not. As long as you do this, then you get us. If you don't get us, you don't. While we're putting those systems together, while we're trying to figure out how the black people can get together in the same place. Like, if we want a genuine shift to people valuing and loving us, that's going to be a much more difficult journey than saying, this is the contract. This is the social contract we got. Y'all accept this. This is what we need.
Let's transition, and we are about to dive into the Trumpster.
That is BFI.
They backing up.
Taking out
It's a big load.
It really should be like the Wild Wild West.
We're diving.
The green can.
Is there anything in here? Is there anything in here worth getting? Haven't found anything? No. Nothing's there. We're diving into the Trumpster. It's been a big week in politics, as it has been since January 6th, 2025, whatever day he got in there. Dang, they still They're still backing up. This is a lot of stuff. This is a lot of stuff here. It's a big load. Oh. He done had to start the truck up again. This is crazy. My. Okay. We have fallen in the Trumpster. And Eddie, take it away.
Well, the main thing that didn't happen recently is Trump had this Congress address,
bruh,
in which he stood there for 2 hours and just lied and manipulated data and said information wrong, proclaimed that wokeness is over in America, and talked more about the tariffs and the advocating for Elon Musk. But and you know, I guess the most significant thing for me in this journey where we having this conversation about like Democrats and what they doing, just bringing dry erase boards with words on it, like that. What is that? But Senator Al Green, Senator Al Green got up and screamed out, you know, and they kicked him out. And not only that, but the Democrats voted to censor this man.
Yeah. Now, yeah. So yeah, yes, that did happen.
That's
okay.
Quite irritating.
That
I mean, that's a starting point for the conversation of what's going on.
That is what happened. 2 hours. 2 hours, the longest in history. Boy, what is you talking about? I probably would have fell asleep. I'm about to go to. I'm gonna take a nap. Y'all wake me back up when he through.
So before we get into the actual details of the talk, let's talk this one because it kind of goes back to the last thing we talked about before.
Okay.
Did y'all like the Democrats' approach and strategy?
No.
I've seen a lot of.
It says no, I didn't.
Absolutely not.
To just sit there and just look.
What Baptist church were we in? Did these people really start saying we shall overcome?
This is so reminiscent of that kente cloth moment.
Kente cloth.
Where they had all this, like they just like what are y'all doing,
laughing?
Bro?
They tried to make an attempt. That's the problem. We think it's funny when they try to make an attempt.
But attempts
It's really not. It's sad.
Y'all don't think that's an attempt?
Low key.
It's because they let Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert talk to Joe Biden all crazy during that address. Ain't nobody did nothing. Nobody said nothing. But now they like why they ain't leave with that man? Like take a bigger stand than just keeping y'all's, you know, little dry erase boards and then censoring the man after that. It's just it was performative to me. It's like let's do something to look like something's being done. But what did it do?
What I think the behind the scenes conversation was, all of you got the group me message, and today we're going to be very civil. No emotion. We're going to be emotionless this time. If I see you smile, if I feel you about to clap, we're going to take you in the back afterwards and haze you. Okay, tying it all together. Tying it all together. But this is a united front. This ain't fun at us. We know he's standing up here lying. So guess what? We just gonna look. You finished yet? But what should have happened? They should have walked out with Al Green. Because why is we in here 2 hours? Sick of being in here. Butt hurts.
All right. So I guess to piggyback on that, do you think they lost some of the young voters? Because I've had and heard several different conversations with the young people, and they're not feeling it at all.
Bro, they
What are
losing
they
me.
saying?
They losing me. I'm talking about the young folks.
Yeah.
So what's happened with the Democrats? A lot of people have lost faith.
Yeah.
Because when we had the House, when we had the presidency,
Yeah.
we had everything.
No, we have
No
nothing.
changes were made.
Oh.
Nothing.
Well, we had
So
it.
are
That
you
was-
going to be collectively against progress? And we have somebody in there that's lying. Alternative Facts. Mr. Alternative Facts might I add. That's his name. But when we had the floor, I mean, we had the floor completely. What did we do with it? And then y'all get in the middle of the address
Mhm.
and sing, "We shall overcome."
Which one did you
someday.
sing, Kirk Franklin?
It wasn't that. It wasn't
Six
that
Red.
version. It was Megan.
What you want? I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I do
so
get what you're saying.
That's what's happened with the vote. They've lost faith in the party. And then you got Mr. Al Green standing up, just yelling. There's no order when things are chaotic.
Girl, but you got President
I
Musk.
know, but
That's
you still
chaotic.
have to be a representative of you.
And that's what he was.
If-
That's what he did.
Clearly.
Because I definitely would have
And got
thrown that stick across the room.
yes, and got put out.
I'm leaving. Goodbye. But the issue, I think a bigger issue though, is that my people. So this goes back to the point of us not having anything and not being able to accomplish anything. I stood up because he does not have a
mandate.
He does not have one. He does not have a mandate. And that really bothered Al Green. Really. I'm not about to let you stand up here and say that you have it and you don't.
He said a lot of things, that he has a lot of things. He's never had them.
You don't have these things. And he
much like the disinfectant. Is there some kind of disinfectant we can use that they can ingest?
Girl.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. The way that I watch these politics now, like, we know that it's real life. We know that it's affecting us every day, but it is really one of those things that you watch and you just watch. And you watch and you wait and you pray and you work because it is insane. Hey, what did Sandy say?
I want to make sure that so the last time the Democrats had all three. Nope. 2009. Yes. Because in 2020 we got the Senate and we got the Senate. No, what I'm saying is we didn't have the presidency. Nancy remember the Democrats impeached Trump. That was the House. When Biden was elected, the Democrats lost the House. So the Republicans had the House since we had a Democratic president. So the Republicans have a super majority because they have the House, they have the White House, or they got Capitol Hill, they got the presidency, and they got the Supreme Court majority.
Everything.
You see what I'm saying? So like, even if it goes to the Supreme Court, it's still in their favor. That hasn't happened in a very, very long time. But to your point though, that was one of the arguments, is that they didn't have both houses long. It was like election time and gone. And so it's hard to have, and even with the majority, the Republicans have a slim majority right now, right? So like, you got to have Democrats to get most of the stuff you really want to get done.
So point that I hear you
and
making,
I think,
you always got to have somebody else outside of your circle to make anything happen.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing about everything we've discussed tonight.
So they don't have what they think they have to get major accomplishments done. You got different super majorities needed for certain things. So like straight majority, they have that. But a lot of the big ticket items, like you'll see, this month is the budget month, right? This is the
5 days, right?
Yeah, this is the month that the budget has to be done. We finna shut down because they're not finna get what they want.
Ooh, check this out. The way that Vice President was talking to President Zelensky.
Oh
my. We hadn't been on since then, and was that hard for you to watch?
That was crazy.
Who you talking? Because once again, who you talking to?
I don't want to watch him live,
exactly.
So I go back.
Exactly.
Right? Like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't watch it live. I always go back with Trump. But anyway, they punked him, and a lot of people like he should. But I'm like, I get it. You do have to do peace talks. That's a part of the process. You do have to have it, because the only way wars can end is with peace treaties. However, you cannot punk me, and I'm not gonna sell my country out. Right. So I wasn't mad at him. I was shocked at how they were talking to him. But at the same time, it's like, come in here, you're going to play by our rules, and we're on Russia's side, by the way.
And that's how Trump has been with everybody. Yeah, they're going to like it. They're going to do it. And, you'll say one thing one day, then the people the presidents and the leaders disagree. We're not going to go for that. Then 2 days later, they're on board. Now, what the hell did you tell them? What did you do to them? What you told them? Why are they with you now? That's why I'm watching it the way I'm watching it. This is insane. So Zelensky punked. He went back and forth, but you're gonna have to stop pointing your finger over. Like, don't keep pointing at me. Where were his people? Why ain't nobody coming out with you? Why is it just you and all of them? And then why are you in here with no suit on? Why don't you have on a suit?
That man said, I'm in the middle of war.
Where's your suit?
I'm in the middle of war.
Have you?
I'll get a suit. I'll wear my suit when we get out of war.
Maybe.
How about that? Maybe.
What?
I may.
Y'all, this is the president of the United States. Okay, so that happened. What else have we not talked about that he did? The tariffs, and the tariffs are back, and There was some other. It's a lot of things I didn't even
take that, which tanked the stock market.
All of them was down. Hold on, let me look and see. There were a lot of things that he did and said, and he's continuing to do and say, and we still have not made it to 100 days yet. I can't wait till that show. I'm going to bring our Republican friends back for that show for 100 days. Eddie, were there any other like points in the 2 hours? Because I went back outside. I was at Mardi Gras.
He's not going to be able to eliminate the Department of Education in the way that he originally wanted to.
Okay.
And it looks like as of late, he's, marked that off of his list of things to do. Because when McMahon, the lady, took over the Department of Education, he basically said, dismantle that and
give it to the state.
Judges was like, you can't dismantle that. Like, these things are codified in the law. Like, Congress would have to change a lot of these things in order to do this. And so I think he kind of like retreated on what he was going to dismantle with the Department of Education, even though he ordered her to cancel as much stuff as she possibly can that's within the confines of the law. But a lot of this stuff has been lip service and him just saying stuff out of his mind. This is what Trump do. He just come up with stuff thinking that stuff is a good idea while he's saying it, get people rallied behind him. And the reality is when the rubber meets the road, he can't really do nothing about it.
Yeah.
This is what I was hoping would happen with a lot of the executive orders he was writing, was that like he was writing them off for this would be a good idea. This sounds like a good idea. And now it's starting to show that he can't do everything that he want to do just because he said it. So that's one of the things. The U.S. did cut intelligence sharing with Ukraine. They did cut funding to you. Like they did a lot of stuff to impact, and not only that, but the Russian missiles that was going to Ukraine amped up in that time frame. So, like, this moment is really playing with a lot of people's lives, and the way that I saw the Zelensky and the Trump situation was like, this man is here under duress, and y'all are sitting here in the office talking about how the other guy ain't bad and calling Zelensky a dictator.
Man, look.
Because the last election that they had was compromised based on what was going on at the time. Like, all of this stuff going on, and the reporter in the back is the one that asked him why he didn't have on a suit. Yeah. And I think that's Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend.
Oh goodness!
By the way, the guy who asked that question, and that energy just shifted. It shifted a lot in that meeting.
There was too many people in there. I don't need y'all in here.
But I guess the question to ask though, I guess of all of us, is at this point in America, what do we think America should be? Should it be nationalist? Should we only focus on us? And if not, what do we do with all of these hundreds and hundreds of years of setting ourselves up on the world stage to be where we have been? And are we okay with one person unilaterally coming and saying, I don't like all of this stuff, get rid of all of it, let's do that?
And that one person being Elon Musk, and that us not being black people.
Same thing for the waste, fraud, and abuse. We know that the government spend money crazy. I don't think that this should be the person or the administration who is doing that if this is something that realistically should be done. I just don't think these are folks.
Well, they're the one. Okay, so now going back to the Democrat conversation, the Democratic side of this conversation, the left side of this conversation, you don't think that these should be the people doing these things. No. But we just came out of a Democratic presidency and none of these things were done.
We had someone receiving Social Security for 350, 60 years. And the country is only how old? 200?
That's a problem. That turns out to be a problem with how the Social Security system identifies dead people. The dating system it's not the people that they've been calling 150 years old in these systems is a problem with that system.
Yeah.
So what happened is Elon Musk got these young dudes to come in and look at this list, and this list say, oh, it's a bunch of people that of this age that's receiving benefits. Well, one, all of that money ain't been given to those people, but they were miscalculating those ages based off of just old coding for that system. So
but it took those people to go in and figure it out, is what we're saying. Like, sometimes you have to get those people that go in and sit down and are meticulous about the process, and you find things like that. Because how long would it have gone on? There was a couple in Georgia 2 weeks ago that were arrested.
And they were old too.
Because they were the wife was receiving her mother's Social Security and had been, and she had been dead for like 30, 40 years. So it's those funds that we're not paying attention to, that people are still receiving funds, and people are like, we're not gonna have Social Security when we get this age. No, because y'all are overspending. There's a budget for a reason. And if you overspend the budget, even though we're working every day as Americans, stop giving the money to people that don't even, you're not even supposed to be getting this money.
I agree.
Well, I'm ready to have this conversation when the actual numbers of what's actually being spent and lost come up, because no number that Elon Musk has put out has been an accurate number at this point.
But it's not an accurate number, but the action is being taken place. Like, this stuff is actually happening. The numbers might be off. It might take some time to get to the real numbers, but you still have people receiving this money, and I want my money when I get
right.
Don't cut me short because you giving somebody that's 300 years old.
Well, what I'm saying is, I think
where is my Social Security?
I think actual fraud, like people who family members done died that is actually doing fraud because they keep getting their checks and cashing it. Yes, let's figure that out. But like, if you're telling me that somebody like, you telling me a system been paying out somebody for 150 years?
Yes, Roger's girlfriend was doing the same thing.
But it ain't even that old.
But that's what I'm saying. Roger. How can that be the case?
Yeah, that.
How can that be the case? What
I put a question there. Yeah, I'm questioning that. Social Security wasn't created to the Great Depression, so I'm calling BS on that one. I will say this though. Think about it. If we're saying that the spending is a problem, we have to ask ourselves, when was the last time the budget was balanced, and who was in power then? Bill Clinton was the last time we had a surplus.
Bill. Hey, do we benefit from any of it?
No, he turned around and gave a tax rebate check. So, like, every time we get it straight, they come back and mess it up. Obama balanced the budget back out. The trend, the deficit was reducing. What did they do? They came back and started giving tax cuts to billionaires.
I need a tax cut.
And anytime they are paying less taxes, it's going to always equal a shift in the equilibrium as far as the budget, because you have the people with the most money paying the less federal taxes.
Because I ain't lying, boy, y'all.
I'm not saying they don't pay taxes, but federal income tax.
994-8949. What taxes are you paying? Do you benefit from this conversation at all, or are we just in the conversation because we're in the United States of America? Because us and we don't really play a huge part in any of what we're talking about. So all of these different things that are happening from all of these things that are happening that we've never seen before. Like, I've never seen anybody, I am a very flexible person. I'm a very just organic. This is the moment. This is what is presenting. So right now we're going to do this. Hey, let's pivot a little bit. Pivot is one of the words of the night. Let's do this. I think this is a good moment to do this. I know that I'm the president. I know that I'm the leader, but I want to bring my homeboy in. John, come on in. And I want you to stand right here and do what you do in the Oval Office with some, I want you to wear some Jordans. Okay. Whatever wear your cap or shirt, whatever you got on, wear all that. Come stand right here and we're going to go live. And I dare America to say anything about it. They voted me in, but I'm voting you in. Come on in. Come on. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's real crazy, but
that is crazy.
I guess when you look at it, because like I'm starting to think about like everything.
Okay.
Who is mostly impacted by these cuts?
People who ain't got it.
Okay. What part of the middle class?
The lower.
Exactly. Because the middle class does not exist.
That's like
there is no middle class. It's made up. So the people at the bottom of the scale are getting the brunt of this beating. And the people at the top are going back to the 1800s when their profits were magnified. All I'm saying is there is no middle class for real. It's a working class. It's always been. Farmers, they're pretty pissed right now.
Oh yeah, and
right?
They voted. Yeah, they were like,
yeah. And so everybody, that's why I'm going to this argument, right? The people who standing in the lunch line screaming this Trump stuff are now the very ones who's getting cut out.
Man,
my problem is that like I guess there's a system in place of how stuff's supposed to be done. And again, if we don't agree with how that system is done, let's change that system. because the inspectors generals are the persons that's supposed to do the audits when this kind of thing is being investigated. But so when you just come in, when you bring a billionaire in, fire all the people who's supposed to do the audits and say, I'm bringing in these 19-year-old programmers instead of accountants to do this, it only seems nefarious to me. It only seems nefarious to me. There is no justifiable reason to do that. It's stupid. It don't make sense.
Well, that's that.
You know what I'm saying? It's like if you get your house fixed up and somebody come in and say, well, your problem over here is cool, but we're gonna get all of these different other professions to come in and see. We're gonna get mental health therapists to come in and see what they think about your house.
Or
what they trying to figure out. That's the only thing I'm trying to figure. These people are young, they not experienced, they not versed in the government. They clearly don't know how to use data. One of the guys, GitHub, was public. He been posting all of this personal stuff that they've been finding out about the government on his public GitHub. It's closed now, clearly, because people found out. It's like all of this personal information that's coming out about this stuff is being done so sloppily without the proper knowledge and information to be doing it. They firing people that ain't got no business being fired. Mm-hmm. People are coming back and suing now and getting their positions back because they never should have been terminated in that way. The cabinet meeting that they just had with Musk there, everybody got into it with Musk. Everybody got into it.
Why are
with
you
Musk.
Here?
Like the FCC director, mind you, who used to be on Road Rules, one of them MTV TV shows. This man said, I already dealing with 2 plane crashes and you want me to fire more air traffic controllers?
Yeah.
They got into a fight about that. Like, what are we doing? Like, to me, I can't find reasons to justify why something going on is good right now. I can't find reasons to even isolate moments to say, okay, well, I understand. I don't understand none of this stuff. I don't think we should be understanding none of this stuff. I think we should be challenging it. And this goes back to my sentiment with the Democrats right now. When I say the Democrats is losing me, it's because, the Democrats are wildly ineffective right now. Mm-hmm. They have done nothing to indicate that they are trying to move forward. And I talked about this before. Democrats are governing with the morality that they want their legislation to reflect in America. And that's the problem. Republicans ain't governing with morality. They govern with a unified sense of we trying to get stuff done. And again, when it comes to, like, I align with Democratic policies in terms of everybody should be able to exist how they want to exist, whether it's LGBT, whether it's trans, whether it's all of that, but that sentiment of value for community and connecting people, the Republicans ain't on that kind of time. We need people that govern with some harshness. We need them to govern with the same kind of don't give a F as the Republicans do.
Okay, so we need people that actually do that and don't just say that, because now I see that people are starting to feel a way about Jasmine Crockett. At first, they're like, I like Jasmine, and I told y'all she does a bit much. And I was looking in our group me to see, because I think I shared it there, exactly what that was about. But you talk about leadership now, and now people are starting to feel that way about her. Like, she's unhinged, and she called people in the South, what was it? Broke country, something that we were part of the problem. Girl, what? So Jasmine Crockett, what are we going to give her? We're going to give her a no or a yes. We still hadn't decided on her. But then Hakeem Jeffries was standing with, where did I see? Oh, he was in Selma. He was in Selma at the bridge crossing over the weekend. Still no leadership? You all still aren't seeing anybody? Every week we got to check in on leadership.
Yeah, we're checking in. All right, here we go. And I was thinking as you were talking, I was thinking about this. What if the strategy, if I've already told y'all this is a bad plan, right?
Okay.
I'm not riding with the plan.
So
because when it crashed, I'm going to say, hey, y'all remember why we didn't say nothing? We said something up front, which they did. Mm-hmm. They're saying things through several people. Now he's back on tour speaking. And so the argument has been that they're divided for the last 3 to 4 years, right? Mm-hmm. The Democrats are not together. They're all over the place. So I think strategy-wise, in this instance, it was about bringing the party back together. It probably went wrong in a lot of people's eyes, but it was about taking a stand together for a chance because they hadn't been on a key. But when it comes to leadership, I have seen him, Jeffries, more in the last 3 weeks than I had seen him previously.
It's about being patient.
So now I got the microphone, right? And I'm not gonna let it go. Right. So again, I think it's a little bit of strategy going on, but I think the strategy is being dictated by the older cats in the party and not the newer cats in the party, if that makes sense.
Who's leading the Republican Party, older or younger Republicans?
Younger.
And they just have Trump's old self as the face?
Yeah, he's the chief party leader.
Okay. So we still have no leadership. Okay, then.
Well, I mean, whatever plan you have, I don't think that you can do what Hakeem Jeffries is doing as long, because a lot of confidence has been lost in his leadership at this point. Like, you got to figure out the middle ground between building confidence and following whatever plan you're following. You can't drift off into the background and start letting Jasmine Crockett take all of these hits about how she's performing. And now nobody got faith in you, and the people that you got out front, they don't like that. Like, what's the strategy?
My hope is that she, again, like we said before, my hope is that she's the decoy. Yeah. And that they really are working, but they're using her to distract. Hey, I'm doing this over here. I'm loud. I'm protesting everything. And then that they are working silently. I hope that that's what this is.
I hope so too, but I think she's doing it on her own. I would prefer Ayanna Pressley. She's poised. Okay. She has control.
AOC. Same thing.
Eloquent. Like,
but she does it the same way. It's just another way.
And it's
AOC is doing the same thing. She's just doing it her way. And I like the fact that Jasmine not changing who she is. I'm being loud because I'm black and I'm proud.
Be loud, be black and proud.
What? They ain't poised. They ain't
what
poised.
About Red? Yeah.
We looking at our young people are not caring about what y'all caring about.
They're not voting either, so I don't care about what they care about.
They voted this time.
The smallest level.
They voted this time.
Should be doing is voting on the smallest levels to get the people in office that we want in office. You have to start with the smallest level. State, county, city, neighborhood,
block watch.
Hello, and then these seats on the in the Senate, and we can get there, but you got to start at the city level first. Then we can get somewhere. We're gonna keep arguing about who's standing up and who walking out, getting walked out. You ain't putting nobody in there.
So I'm gonna do what I feel I need to do.
And these people are holding these seats every term. Getting put right back in. Supreme Court being changed out by people we didn't even put in office. So we can have these arguments all day, but there's always going to be a reset with the government every so many years. It's going to reset. Because when did the shift happen between the Democrats and the Republicans? When did black people become Democrats?
It was a long time ago. I think now black people should just become independent.
Okay.
And I think there should be a rise of but I know these are the two major parties. People make parties major. We all
gonna be purple.
I don't like purple.
Come on to the purple team, cuz.
I like yellow.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the criticism that Jasmine Crockett getting.
Well, we sorry.
I'm just saying. I mean, I don't mean it from y'all, but she getting a lot of heat just being out there. And the reality is, if that's who she is, that's just who she is. And I'm over the idea of them being poised, because the Republicans ain't poised. Marjorie Taylor Greene don't get the same heat that she got. I mean, we just taking white supremacy, black politics into, well, y'all got to be nice to go along to get along. I don't like that. She should be able to be as loud as she want to be from my vantage point.
On their platform.
What you say?
When do they demean their own when they get a platform?
I want Eric Mays.
Well, so that's what I was saying. No, that goes into that sentiment of the Republicans.
Eric Mays.
The Republicans will unify for a goal and an outcome. The Democrats ain't doing that. The Democrats they're looking for people to act right in their own individual space, and they're not all getting together say we need to all advocate to move in this direction at the same time.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, there's a place to be poised, but I think that's a problem with the Democratic Party right now, because in an opportunity where they could have even passively advocated for Al Green to just have been able to say his thing and not censor him. They still voted for him to have put up decorum against a man that lied for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's crazy. If y'all ever do that to me, don't worry about me speaking to you again. I had this question in mind to ask y'all anyway. What can somebody do to you, or what would it take for a friend to do to you for you to never speak to them again? What are some of those things? Don't like, you are no longer existent to me. What's some of those things?
Spit in my face on purpose.
Oh
My God.
That's so physical.
That's one.
Jesus.
It's a lot of stuff I could like navigate through, overcome to where I still talk to you, but like spit in my face and mean to do it.
Yeah, I'm not speaking to you. Like at this point, you no longer exist.
Yeah, no, that's it for me.
So spit in your face.
I don't like the draining type of energy. If I always come around you and I feel drained, it's just,
You will never talk to them again.
no, because exchange of energy is a big thing for me.
Okay.
And you're not fixing to put all that on me.
I'm
sorry.
never speaking.
Never
speaking
and
to you
it
again.
happens. I will cut you off,
Hmm.
and things will progress.
We're gonna
without
keep
you.
moving forward.
Keep moving forward.
Okay.
Because how are you instrumental to my growth? And I can't even feed into you because you're so negative. I've been told that too. Negativity breeds negativity.
Absolutely. I want to, people don't really think about that. What is it that someone can do to you that will make you never speak to them again? You no longer exist to me. Hey, our Lillian, she said, be committed to misunderstanding me.
Mm-hmm. That's
Like you committed to misunderstanding me. Yeah, I go for that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go for that, and then I'm gonna add, because you don't understand yourself, so you like to be problematic. So yes, I will definitely not speak to you.
Yeah.
And I just asked that. I had 2 questions I wanted to ask just because I wanted to know. The other one, who do you all identify as middle-aged adults? Who's middle-aged? Age.
We're middle-aged.
Who?
We are.
Everybody in this room.
The life expectancy is 70 to 80 years.
How that girl be looking on it?
It's not 50.
Oh.
Nobody
expects. We're not 100.
We're not living to 100. That's not realistic. So
40.
we're actually over the hill. I'm over the hill right now.
Okay. So we're middle-aged adults.
Correct.
So when you think about messaging and who we're saying it to and how they're receiving it.
Target audience.
And it ain't at Target in the black people aisle. It's not. It's not there. We're gonna take our back. We're gonna go to Target.
Who is our Martin Luther and Malcolm X?
Who's middle aged? They weren't even middle aged. They were like 25, and we don't follow our 25-year-olds because baby, you was crazy. John Lewis was 25 when he led the march that we commemorated today. He was 25. So I'm just wondering, like middle age.
They didn't live it long.
Not it. Hell no. Like, well, no, John Lewis did.
Yeah.
He just died recently, but Martin Luther King, John.
Yeah.
Did y'all see Jesse Jackson was in the city too?
Yes, he was at
Okay,
the
he was there.
historic A.G. Gaston Hotel.
Yeah. Shouts out to Naima, a coffee shop. What else? Who else? There are so many. My cutoff game is strong. Friends and family, Mary Ella Chambers said.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk about Tupperville before we get out of here too. But yeah, I just had to ask those questions. What is middle age? What, like this comes from kind of like the conversation we were having earlier. I was thinking about a high school fraternity, and I was having this conversation with somebody, and we were like, yeah, I said, I remember going to a lock-in at the YMCA on the south side with Rashad and Rashad. Rashad is my friend that just passed today. But we went to this sleepover, a lock-in. They were lock-in. And there was a boy named Brandon Fincher. I don't know what Brandon is, but that name, everybody knew that name. I wasn't even a part of the Greek life then, but I'm gonna kick it. I'm over here. His mama was the advisor. So then I'm thinking, okay, I have a daughter that's in a high school sorority. I could, that's the age that we are now. But are we effective when we talk to them, to that generation? Because
you know what you do and who your personality
and what you look like, because what kind of shoes you got on? So just why your jeans look like that? Don't talk to me. So just thinking about the things that make us not be able to connect. So we're middle-aged adults, right smack dab in the middle. And what does that look like as far as really being able to push change or to create volume? Like, what does that look like? Who are we really talking to?
Well, for me, I think our outreach is way more impactful because we have more to work with now. Everybody is, like I said, we have a ready-made society, and everybody is so easily influenced. You project yourself as somebody that has an influence, and you have a platform.
Okay.
And people will listen. Look at all these, like we talked about podcasts. Look at all these podcasts that pop up, and people are retweeting, quoting people that don't have a certification in the world. But that's the influence because they appear to be somebody. So we listen to them. So we need more people that are actually somebody that have credentials to get on these platforms. And then we'll have a voice.
Okay.
But until that shift happens where we don't have these pop-up celebrities and pop-up people that have influence, we'll never have a voice. And they'll never listen. Okay. And then we ain't spraying money up our arm.
So we got it. I got some prop money. We can do that after the show. We're gonna go to Applebee's. What you got?
I think it depends on how much energy we put into getting to know and understand the young people. Like as long as what we send back there saying that they just always on their phones and they just be want to play the game and they just need some whoopings. As long as we send back say that when we see a group of 25-year-olds, what are you saying in your head to try to get an understanding of what their experience is and what they're going through, what they deal is?
For sure. They still need a whipping.
I got one more thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You go ahead. So what he said about, the phones and the whippings. So medically, it's an issue with reaching younger people. They have more in their system than we had in our system. It's more in the food than it was in our food. More of these kids are being subjected to ADHD and autism, all types of, mental illnesses. You got blue light working against them. It's so much outside stuff working against them and their mental and their chemical balances that guess what? It's harder to reach them. Their attention spans are shorter than ours. We could sit for about 20, 30 minutes. They can't sit for 5. 5 or 10 minutes. So
that's the young people.
That's the young people. Okay. So it's harder to reach them because they have so many other things working against them. And it's not just a video game.
Cool. Okay. I receive that. Our peers.
Yeah.
What about them? what
the age gap, I still think is depending on the person, right? Because if you can stay abreast to the lingo and the language, we don't speak their language. That's the biggest barrier that middle-aged people have is like when I stopped teaching for a little while and went back into the classroom, it was a culture shock. Like literally.
What did you just say?
And I'm at a pretty decent school. And so, but still I was so disconnected in them 8 years that I was disconnected. Now I understand the things that they say. I understand the rhetoric but if you're not around it, you're not going to understand it. So now you're coming back to say, hey, this is blue. And he's like, that's not blue. That's another color. You don't even have the baseline of language to connect with them. And you're not going to get their attention talking at them. These kids, they're over that at talk. If you can't talk to me, like, I don't care how old you are.
You're right. And that's why that's why people don't talk to them. However, that's why we are in the positions that we're in because we can. So I asked about the young people. I asked about our peers and then the older adults. So like if we are in the middle, we are the links in these chains. So it's our responsibility to make sure that we are having the necessary conversations and not only having the conversations, but making attempts. Like, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? So that is why we do this show on Sunday nights and the things that we do during the week as well. We want to do more than just do the show. We want to make sure that we are having conversations that you all are, that are for everybody. And I think we do a good job at talking to everybody and with everybody, but we want y'all to talk back sometimes too. So next week we'll be expecting some phone calls, 994-8949. Go ahead and put that in your cell phone, whatever, your tablet. And then pay attention to what's going on in the news, anything that you want to talk about, be a part of the conversation, and then be a part of the solution. Because if you're not a part of the solution, you're still a part of the problem. And I think that is what we talked about totally tonight. Like, no attempts are being made. Sounds like a lot of fear and a lot of rushing. The words for tonight: process and decorum. Trust the process. You got to go through the process, and then you have to behave a certain way. I like process. Decorum, it depends on where I am. Okay. Closing remarks. All hearts and minds composed. Okay, well, great. I'll be back in the morning at noon for the free lunch flashback, giving you some old school music and motivation. And then we're going to honor some women, some working women, because it's Women's History Month. So we're doing it all month of March right here on B94.9 WATV. Y'all have a good week and be vital.
WATV Birmingham.
All right, don't go to Amazon. Y'all stay off Amazon all week. Bye.
Operated, serving the community for almost.
Y'all forgot about the Amazon book?
Here we go now.